The Dark Web explained. What Hollywood gets wrong.
In movies, the dark web is a glowing red interface where you can hire a hitman, buy a stolen identity, or hack the Pentagon, all in about 4 clicks. Real hackers are laughing at this. The actual dark web is smaller, slower, and honestly a lot more boring than Hollywood wants you to believe. But it's also more important and more widely used for legitimate reasons than most people realize. Let's actually explain it.
The 3 layers of the Internet.
The Internet isn't one single space. It's usually split into 3 layers. The surface web is everything a normal search engine can find and index. News sites, social media, YouTube. Estimates vary, but this is often cited as somewhere around 4 to 10% of everything that actually exists online. The deep web is everything search engines can't index. Your email inbox, your online banking portal, private cloud storage, or subscription content behind a login. This makes up the vast majority of the Internet. Most sources put it well over 90%. It's not mysterious or illegal. It's just not publicly searchable. The dark web is a small, specific slice of the deep web that requires special software to access it all, most commonly a browser called Tor.
Why Tor was created.
Tor wasn't built by criminals. It was originally developed in the 1990s by the U.S. Naval Research Laboratory, designed to let government communications travel across the Internet without revealing who was talking to whom. The technology was later released publicly and developed further by the Tor Project, a nonprofit, with the explicit goal of giving ordinary people access to the same kind of anonymity for privacy and free expression, not just government use.
How onion routing works.
Tor's anonymity comes from something called onion routing. When you connect through Tor, your traffic doesn't go directly to its destination. Instead, it's encrypted in multiple layers, like an onion, and bounced through a series of volunteer-run relay servers around the world. Each relay in that chain only knows the step immediately before it and the step immediately after it. No single relay ever knows both who you are and what you're accessing at the same time. By the time your request reaches its destination, the trail back to you has been split across multiple independent hops, each only holding one small piece of the puzzle.
Legitimate uses.
This matters for a lot more people than true crime documentaries suggest. Journalists use Tor to communicate with sources without exposing them to retaliation. Whistleblowers use tools like Secure Drop, built on Tor, to safely leak documents to news organizations. Activists and ordinary citizens living under authoritarian governments use it to access information their governments actively censor, or to organize without being tracked. Privacy-conscious individuals use it simply to browse without being profiled by advertisers and data brokers. Even law enforcement agencies use Tor themselves for undercover work where hiding their own identity matters.
Criminal activity and law enforcement.
Now, the part Hollywood does get partially right. Illegal marketplaces do exist on the dark web, for drugs, stolen data, and worse. But using Tor is not, by itself, evidence of criminal activity. The vast majority of Tor traffic has nothing to do with any of that, and law enforcement has repeatedly proven the dark web isn't the untouchable fortress it's often portrayed as. Major marketplaces like Silk Road and AlphaBay were both eventually taken down, and their operators identified and prosecuted through patient investigative work, not through some dramatic one-time hack.
Common myths.
A few things Hollywood loves to get wrong.
Hollywood says
The dark web is some massive, sprawling hidden internet.
reality.
It's a small fraction of the deep web. Most estimates suggest only a tiny percentage of Tor traffic even touches anything illegal.
Hollywood says
One click and you're suddenly exposed to hitmen for hire and hackers for hire.
reality.
Most dark websites are slow, unreliable, poorly designed forums and marketplaces, far more mundane than the movies suggest. And many hitman or similarly shocking listings that have surfaced over the years turned out to be scams targeting the buyers themselves.
Hollywood says
It's completely untraceable.
reality.
As those law enforcement takedowns show, Tor provides strong anonymity, but strong isn't the same as absolute. Mistakes in how a site or its operators are run can still expose them.
Should you use Tor?
For most everyday browsing, you don't need it, but it's a legitimate, freely available privacy tool, not an inherently illegal one. It's legal to use in most of the world, though a handful of authoritarian governments do restrict or ban it specifically because it undermines their ability to monitor citizens. If you value privacy, do sensitive journalism, or live somewhere your government actively censors information, it's a genuinely useful tool. For everyone else, it's simply good to actually understand, instead of picturing whatever the last true crime documentary told you to imagine. The dark web isn't a hidden criminal underworld waiting behind one click. It's a tool. Like most tools, what it becomes depends entirely on who's holding it.
This video is for educational purposes only. It does not constitute legal, security, or technical advice. Laws regarding Tor and dark web access vary by country. Know your local laws before using any privacy tool. If you plan to use Tor or a VPN for sensitive purposes, consult official documentation, such as the Tor project's own support resources, and configure your setup carefully, as incorrect configuration can reduce rather than improve your privacy. Now you actually know what's real and what's Hollywood. This channel breaks down the truth behind cybersecurity myths, threats, and real-world attacks every day. Subscribe to the Daily SOC and turn on notifications, so you're never the one believing what the movies told you.